Have you had a chance to play the game? And if so, what is your opinion?
I've played it a good bit now that it's been out for a few months, and I love it. It's a great stress reliever, and actually, I think there are a lot of things in there that can be used.
What do you think of the success of Soldier of Fortune?
I'm very impressed. Of course, I think that a lot of that has to do not necessarily with me, but with the folks at Raven, who did a brilliant job.
Has it been difficult to deal with all the attention that you've gotten since the game has been released?
It has been different. After living my life in the shadows, as it were, for nearly 40 years, and now I find my face scattered all over the world. Yeah, it's different.
What went through your mind when Activision and Raven Software called up and asked to turn your life into a computer game?
I was amused, to say the least. Then I was intrigued. I thought that there were some things there that I would have liked to get into as far as the entertainment world goes, as far as writing goes.
Were you in constant contact with Raven Software as they developed the game, or were you brought in just at certain key points of development to add your experienced opinions?
Actually, I got involved in the process a little bit late for Soldier of Fortune. If they had most of the game done, I suppose I added a little bit of flavor that they might not have had, and was able to give them some critiques that they responded to very quickly.
How faithful are the weapons in Soldier of Fortune to their real-life counterparts?
They are emblematic, I would say, of the weapons that can be used out there. I understand there were some licensing problems as to using the actual weapons. Hopefully, if Soldier of Fortune 2 goes, we'll be able to increase the realism of that rather considerably.
Did Raven Software use any of your real-life experiences when they were putting the game together? In other words, are any of your past missions part of the game?
No, not in this case, although there were a couple of things in there that came pretty close to mirroring a couple of old missions. Again, Soldier of Fortune 2 will be based a lot more on what actually went on in the past.
I've read that you preferred to be called a contractor or consultant as opposed to mercenary. How exactly did you become involved in that particular line of work?
After 22 years in the Army and not having a lot of skills that corporate America needed, and the Mafia wasn't hiring.
I would have to assume that a good deal of your past is classified. How careful do you have to be when suggesting things to be used in the game?
Have to make sure that we don't expose any sources and methods, as it's known in the trade. Sources being someone who may still be in place in one of these countries of where we used to operate. Methods, the methods by which we may have infiltrated or we communicated. So we make sure that that doesn't go in.
What is the most serious situation that you've ever been in? And is there a lighter side to this line of work?
Probably the most serious were in Vietnam in the early years, about 3 tours there. And then, of course, later on, the Middle East was probably the hardest place to operate. You were never really sure who your friends were, and if they were going to be for your friends within the next few moments. As far as the lighter side, we get together at least once a year and we tell all great stories, and it gets funnier and funnier every year.
Have any of your friends that are or were in the consulting business played the game? What do they think of it? Also, did they give you a hard time about being a featured character in a computer game?
They always give me a hard time, no matter what, but then I give them a hard time back. Actually, once they start playing it, they get hooked. They really like it, as happened with a police officer friend of mine. He said, I'm going to go home today, and my wife is going to wonder why I'm so calm. It's easy. I've already killed 150 bad guys today.
Is there anything you'd like to say to someone that might be seeing this and thinking that for a living they'd like to become a Soldier of Fortune? It might be a cool way to make a living.
I would say don't. First off, you're going to have to go through an immense amount of training. You're going to have to get that out of the military somewhere, because it really doesn't, there's no schools out there in becoming a mercenary. And then it's really not that good paying, and it's extremely dangerous work. So you end up working in places that are pretty crappy, no medical support, no evacuation, and for less money than the average programmer gets.